what is keyword research and why is it important? Man, this is such a great question. So keyword research is actually doing a little bit of, prior to doing SEO on your website, prior to doing anything of that nature, figuring out what people that you're trying to reach are searching for on Google. Is they sit down at their computer and start typing into that Google search bar, what are they searching for? What words are they using? What key phrases are they using? And it may be different than what you think because you're in the industry, you understand the industry, what you think somebody might be putting into Google or what you think a relevant keyword is or an SEO term is may not at all align with what people are actually using. I had a discussion with a client last week about this, and we talked about different things that when you're in an industry, you tend to refer to things in a certain way or talk in a particular language and assume that everybody knows what that is or that that's the type of keywords you need to be SEO'd for. And what you could do if you make that mistake is you can go along and pay money and SEO your website and all those things associated with that, optimize images, everything like that, to perfectly optimize your company for keywords and key phrases that, guess what, nobody is actually typing into Google. So although your SEO is done properly, technically done properly, on the back of your website, you're not getting website traffic because nobody's searching for the things that your website is optimized for. So keyword research is a way to actually go in and find out the search words and search terms that people are actually searching for so that then you can optimize your website for those search words and search terms and make sure that you're optimizing it for the right things. So how do you do that? How do you do keyword research? There's a lot of tools out there that can help you with this. Paid tools like SEMrush and things like that. But there's also free tools. Google's got one called Keyword Planner. I think it's called Keyword Planner, Google Keyword Planner. It's free. If you have a Google account, you can log into it and you can do that. And there's some limitations to the Google thing, but it's Google, and you're actually trying to optimize your website for their platform, Google. So it's actually a good place to start. And it allows you to search for certain terms and see how much traction they're getting. You might be surprised that you think a certain term is very critical that you come up at the very top of the list for, and find out that very few people are actually searching for that term. Now, that's going to impact if you do Google AdWords, what your keywords and key phrases are in Google AdWords. You can spend a lot of money coming up for a lot of things that take budget away from you coming up for the most important things. SEO. Are your pages, are your websites optimized for the words that are the most relevant, that are getting the most searches, that are being sought after? So keyword research is critical. I think you owe it to yourself to, if you're going to embark on a Google AdWords campaign or SEO, to kind of understand that. We work with a lot of clients in similar industries or in the same industry. So we kind of know what those keywords and key phrases are and have the ability to jump right in. So we don't spend daily in time doing keyword research, but we do check up occasionally to make sure that we are on par and online with where these particular clients are, especially if it's a new client in an industry that we don't typically do business in. We want to make sure that we're hitting the right terms. So the question was, what is keyword research and why is it important? Hopefully I answered that question. It's, and anybody can put anything, anybody that's tuned in can put something in the comments if you understand that or not. It's kind of a technical thing. It's really pretty simple. It's pretty foundational that you do this, but a lot of people don't do it. And a lot of times we kind of come in to start working with a client, and one of the first things we look at is how their SEO on their website is done often. And often, sometimes the SEO is not done well, but sometimes the SEO is actually done really well. It's just the website is optimized for all the wrong terms. So it's not like the SEO wasn't done. It was just done. It was pointed at the wrong target. You were trying to hit a target over here and it's aimed at a target over there. And you wonder why you're not getting the traction or the traffic to your website that you'd like to get. So I appreciate Steve saying, makes sense. It's not always about, in his case, window tint near me, but more like ceramic window tint. Great. You're talking about a window film industry. We do business with a lot of people in the window film industry. A great example of that is in the window film industry, we often refer to, I'm even saying it right now while we're talking, I'm saying window film. We often use the word window film, but outside of our industry, very few people use the word window film. They use the word window tint, or they use things like that. So we might optimize your residential, your home page for the term residential window film. That might be a common mistake where you've now optimized your page perfectly for residential window film. Problem is, not a lot of people are going in and actually searching when they type into Google residential window film. Guess what they're searching for? Home window tinting, house window tint, tinting my home windows, things like that. That's what they're searching for. So now you've got a perfectly optimized page on your website for residential window film, which technically there's nothing wrong with what you've done other than you've aimed yourself completely at the wrong target because people aren't searching for residential window film. So it's critical that before you get busy doing a bunch of SEO, that you would identify the targets you want to hit, and then all the SEO and all the Google AdWords and things like that flow from that research you've done up front to make sure you're aimed at the right target.